The games are the Sly Cooper series.
Yeah.
I got a picture for the first three. I believe those are considered the best.
Yes, yes. I cannot speak on the fourth one at this time. I have not fully played through that one yet.
Ah,
I'm planning to on stream. We just got a little bit away from the collection currently, but we've already played through the first two on stream.
awesome.
So eventually, I will be able to give an. I will say, it is a different company and it is a different like art style. So I can see why some people like might be upset over it.
Right.
Gameplay wise, I can't say like how the gameplay is compared to the first three. But well, let's talk about the Sly collection here, the first three, the OG three. So,
Let's do it.
all right. So, to start off, the whole reason I love this game, is because back when I was a young little elf, I am the oldest sibling of, three little elves.
Oh.
And back in grade school, my mother was still in work and was not able to be home when we were home from school. So what she would do is there was a daycare center that was like right near our house, so she could like pick us up on the way home. So we would get off the bus to this daycare, and the daycare was just like straight up in this lady's house. So like her son, who happened to be or like the same age as me, obviously we get off at the same time, and he had a PlayStation. I did not own a PlayStation at this time. I didn't even know what it was. And but I was lucky enough where some days after school I'd be able to go downstairs into their basement where they had the games set up, and I would play on the PlayStation. And Sly Cooper was one of the games he had that wasn't like shooting and killing people. Like, I'm sure he had Call of Duty or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I remember watching him play that at some point with his friends. Anyway, it was one that was like appealing and not like gory, bloody, shooty, pew pew. Anyway, so I started playing the first game, and I was immediately attached to the storyline and the gameplay. I just absolutely loved it. So basically, for those who are not aware of what this game is series is about, so the main character is Sly Cooper, guy in the blue hat there in the center, and he is a part of a family, a long lineage of thieves. And so there's a special book that has been passed down through generations, called the Thievius Raccoonus, and it is it is a huge collection talking about his ancestors thieving, but I would like to say they only steal from bad people. So
Ah.
it's like Robin Hood kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the Thievius Raccoonus talks about all of their special endeavors that they have gone through, and trials and tribulations and all that, and like their special ninja moves because they have cool moves. Anyway,
Ooh.
then oh, what else? Also, I'm explaining this horribly. I want to explain this better so people who have never played this before go
Yeah.
play it.
Go on,
But
take
anyway,
your time.
if you see that big fancy cane in in Sly's hand in the third game, so that is the family cane that has also been passed down through generations. And that is like his main go-to tool. Not only does he have sick ninja skills, but this cane, it like is his go-to tool to be able to get to be able to thieve properly. So basically, when he was a kid, unfortunately, there was a group called the Fiendish Five that came to his house, freaking murdered his dad in front of him, and
Ooh.
stole or ripped up the Thievius Raccoonus, like stole parts from it. So they each took like a chunk of the book, and disappeared. And so then Sly went to an orphanage, and that's where he met the pink and the green guy. So that is Bentley the turtle, and he's like the smarts, he's the brains. And then there's Murray the hippopotamus, and he's the bronze. You don't really get to play as them much in the first game, which kind of stinks. But they fixed that in the second and third game, and you actually get to play between the three different characters, which is super
Nice.
fun. So in the first game, he goes to an orphanage. That's where he meets his friends. They decide to create a little band and go back and steal back his ancestors' books, like the pages. So that's basically what the first game is focused on. And each level is focusing on a different member of the Fiendish Five, with the last one being the main villain, basically, which is Clockwork, which is an owl. Because raccoons and owls, they don't get along. They don't like each other. But he was freaking crazy, and he had like this like insane hatred for the Cooper family. So he like basically replaced his body with metal parts to become a robot to like live for centuries. So like he was around back like when Sly's ancestors were around, and he just like freaking hates them. So that's like the boss battle. And then so first game, absolutely love the mechanics. I think what I loved the most about the game, like when I first started playing it, is like just how straightforward they were and kind of like breaking the fourth wall. Because when you're playing it, Bentley is telling you like how to play, and he's like, "Oh, to do your spire jump and hit the circle button." Like and it shows you like a picture of the PlayStation like
that's
buttons.
fun.
It's great. I love it.
Did you manage to play the entire game in the basement of that daycare? The first game?
No. So
okay, go on. I'm sorry. Just go on.
So I replayed through. I think I got the farthest I got was like to the second level, and that could have been because I like loaded up one of his save files. I never actually saved it because I didn't want him to get upset at me for like saving over his progress.
Yeah.
But I knew the first two levels the most. Then years pass, and my dad actually gets me a PlayStation 2, so I can play it at home. Yeah. Sidetrack. I think part of the reason he bought it was because he wanted to get games for himself, but then he realized he sucks at video games.
sorry, Papa Melon. Sorry, Melon Papa.
Well, he's not good with like controller video games like that.
Oh.
He's like good with the plug and plays, you know, like a Galaga, however you pronounce it, like old school like arcade.
Centipede.
Yep. He's good with those. He's not good with controllers.
Thanks for the hydrate proxy.
He would try and get like golf games, skiing games, did not work. So it became my PlayStation overall.
All right.
Yeah, and then I spent my allowance to get Sly Cooper from GameStop. And actually, you know what? No, what happened was first, my parents bought me the third game. So I actually played these out of order.
Oh.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I still love the games regardless, but don't do that. But yeah, so I've eventually bought the first and second game for myself. Played through the third game the most. So things didn't make a lot of sense at first.
Sure.
But now the timeline's fine. It makes sense. So the first game is basically about those Fiendish Five. Going through their different levels, there is a frog. There's a giant pug with like giant arms. He has to walk around on his arms because they're so muscular. There's a gator. Well, she got a southern accent. She does voodoo and stuff. There's the Panda King, and then Clockwork. Those are like the main levels. And then there's like this like side story where it's like there's a police officer named Carmelita Fox, and she is indeed a fox in more ways than one. And she's got like this love-hate relationship with Sly. Like they're constantly flirting. It's great. Well, I mean, he's constantly flirting with her. But so like there are some missions where like you have to escape the cops, and she's a great character as well. They bring her back for the second and third. What I don't like is that they changed the voice actors for each game.
Oh,
that was a little annoying. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that's too bad. That's all right.
Other than that, it's okay. So the first game is like establishing the story of like Thievius Raccoonus and Sly Cooper and like why he does what he does. Then in the second one, Band of Thieves, well, I don't want to give away spoilers of the first game.
Sure, well, do what you can.
Okay.
Who returns? What characters are back? That's not spoil. What heroes are back? Obviously Fox is back.
Yes. So what's cool about this one is like the layout of the game has changed in terms of the gameplay, because like in the first game there's like a main hub essentially, and then there's like little portals that take you to the next levels in like the main world.
Yeah.
But in the second and third game it's more linear. Like you have to go to specific locations in an overall large map to like start the missions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. First one gets a hub world, and that one is like walking through like almost like a Mario level. The map's laid out, and you you go from level to level because of the line leading to them, something like that.
Yeah, think of it kind of like Super Mario 64. Not necessarily jumping through the painting part, but it's like, it's a each painting has like one big world, but then like there's several things to do in the world. There's different stars to
Oh,
get.
it's
So
like
there's like
that.
different missions. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like a big world overall, and it's like in different locations like Paris, in India, in trying to remember, Prague. So like you go around the world. It's pretty cool. Um so basically what happened is an old foe is back, and Sly and the gang are doing their best to prevent that from happening. And then there's this really big plot twist that totally caught me off guard as a kid. I
Ooh.
don't want to spoil it, but ooh, it made me mad. It made me mad. Anyway,
Oh, oh, wow. Number two's got a plot twist.
it's a really good story as well. Like they definitely like upped the story for this one. And
Ah,
then to get to the third game,
which she played through twice for the first, all the way, and that's the first one she played all the way through, folks. For those of you who've been paying attention.
yes, I played through it all the way first. That was the first one
Yes.
I completed. Then I eventually finished the first and second. But basically, so what's cool about the third one is so you start off basically at the end of the game. So you're on the
Really?
last yeah, you're on the last level. There's this new character that hasn't been in any of the that wasn't in the two previous games. Big monkey, baboon, with the red butt, red hiney.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, one of those. he's like a he's a mad scientist, and basically he has found a vault that contains the Cooper treasure. So like over the years, all of Sly's ancestors have like been collecting treasure and hiding it away in this vault. And it's very obvious that the key to opening the vault is Sly's cane. Like the cane that has been passed down through generations.
Sure.
And this monkey man is trying to open it with like lasers and stuff. It's not working. It's not gonna work. But so what's cool is you start off at the end of the game. This giant monster appears, grabs Sly. It looks like it's about to eat him, and then it cuts to a cutscene where Sly is like, now I'm facing death. I'm thinking back to these past couple months we've had, and then it's like you're playing the entire game as like a flashback.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah. So you've like gotten a little look at like what the final level is, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't like get the full experience yet. Then you go through the rest of the level, or rest of the game, and basically the idea, which I think is so cool now that I've played through the first two games. Again, it didn't really make sense when I first played through it,
Yeah.
but now it's great. So basically, Honor Among Thieves, you're still with Sly, and Bentley. Again, I don't want to give away anything, but in the end of the second game, something traumatic happens and Murray decides to leave the team. So in the beginning, you and Bentley are trying to get him back, and then from there, because you've learned about this vault, and so from there, you're trying to create a team of experts to be able to get to this island and successfully get rid of this stupid monkey scientist man and claim the vault. But the thing is, like, I think the coolest part is like it's got some callbacks to both the first and the second game.
Oh,
So like
nice.
I won't say who, but at one point, oh, I hit my mic. At one point, one of the characters, one of the bad guys from from the first game joins your team.
One of the original Fiendish Five?
Yeah, it's so cool. Like
Whoa.
I love the storytelling.
Wow, so these
And
three are like a complete set. It sounds like the third one's like completes the story arcs of like the treasure and whatnot.
it does. And like I can't remember how the fourth kind of like reset everything. And I guess that could be why some people are upset because it's like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, we were wanting a fourth Sly game, but at the same time, it's like the third one just kind of ended it well, you know?
Nice.
Just okay, so I know I've been rambling, but honestly,
No,
like
that's the
great
point of this.
story. Great story, great gameplay. I love the controlling of the different characters. For in the second and third game, there are some little mini games in the first one. I will tell you, the racing can get a little annoying. I think that was back when like racing was a big thing. They were like, oh, we gotta add it to our game somehow.
Yeah.
But you mainly play as Sly. The other thing I will say that did change is in the first game, you could only be hit one time before you died.
In the race?
No, in the game in general.
Oh, okay.
Unless you had a lucky horseshoe. If you had a lucky horseshoe, then you got an extra hit. They got rid of that for the second and third game, and now you have like a health bar.
Oh.
Which is much nicer.
One hit? For real?
Yeah, they were brutal. They were brutal back then. They changed it though for the better, honestly, because I can't imagine playing the second and third game with just like a one hit and you're done.
Wow,
So
that is brutal. Oh, well, that's classic gameplay for you. Go on, you got more to say? Go right ahead, Mel. This is awesome. I've been looking forward to this game. I've heard some things here and there about it, but hearing you talk about it, it's sounding really fun. So keep going.
well, I mean, I don't know how much else I can say other than like, because again, I don't want to like give away too much because I honestly am like encouraging anyone in chat who's like thinking about it, like do it. It's great. It's great. And like, even though there's a little bit of like, childhood nostalgia for me with this game, it's still a great series. And it's like, it's just a great storyline. The characters are great. Like the dialogue is great. It's just an awesome game series. So in terms of getting it, that's probably the trickiest part because well, obviously the first 3 came out on PS2. This Sly collection, the picture that you got, is actually a collection for the PS3. But then I also believe it's available on the PS4, but only through PS Now, I think, or one of their subscription services. I'm not really sure. But if you can find a way to play it, I highly recommend it. And not only that, but the music is great too. Like, I'm a musician. Amazing soundtrack. Freaking love it.
There you have it, folks. Sly Games got it all. Story, gameplay, difficulty, companions. A lot of things you can't spoil because they're just that connected, the games. Music.
You may question if you were a furry after.
There you go. It may encourage the inner furry. So, if you ever want to find out, play Sly Cooper, folks. Give it up for Sly Cooper for giving Melodii an awesome childhood game as well as just a great game series in general. Thank you, Sly Cooper series. La Mal indeed, Proxy. No, I'll tell you this, Mel. We are definitely going to check this game out, me and my brother. We always play games together, like one plays and the other one watches, or if it's a co-op, we both play. So this is high on our list, and I think you've just sold it. So
awesome.
I'll let you know what we think about it. Like, I'll say I'm like you're right. It's a fantastic game, Mel. Like I'll DM you after we finish the series or whatnot.
Oh, definitely do. Let me know what you think. And don't just like feel like you have to like it because I was like gushing about it. Like I just like honestly want people to know more about it. I feel like it's like more on like well, not obscure necessarily, but I feel like it falls in like the same category as like Jak and Daxter. Like if you ever played that.
I've heard of the series, never played it. Or
for me, it was like Ratchet and Clank. I never really played Ratchet and Clank. I briefly played Jak and Daxter, but it's more like, I want to say obscure, but not really. I don't know. It just seems like not as many people know about it, and I want people to know more about this game series. It's so good.
I know what you mean. It's like just the right amount of popularity, but not enough.
Exactly.
Somewhere in between there. So again, folks, check out this collection. The B and I are most definitely going to check this one out. Because also, we're big fans of villains, so give us plenty of that. And this thing definitely has villains. So we've heard about them.
Oh, yes.
Sly Cooper, everybody. Melodii's presentation of her favorite game series. Give it up once more time for the Sly Cooper collection. Let's see some Pachis in the chat. Woo!